All right, everyone, welcome back. We've got another Basic Bogeys episode. It's now end of May here in almost June, and so we had to bring him back now following the three big adaptive golf tournaments he participated in. Ricky, welcome back to the pod.
Oh, I'm so pumped to be here. It's
Oh yeah.
I got good news to share, and we have officially passed our 1 year anniversary, boys. How
Yeah,
crazy is that?
One
It was
of you being a bit on it?
yeah, yep.
Wow. Time
Because I
flies when
came
you're a piece
on
of
before
shit.
yeah. Before you went to the qualifier last
That's
year.
before
right.
Yeah,
That's
yep,
right.
yep. I was listening to I had a what turned out to be like a 12 to 13 hour drive to Indianapolis. So I
hmm
listened to our first one, our second one, and then I got a little like music driven, and I forgot to listen to our third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth one that I've been on for so many times. But um, no, dude, I'm ecstatic to be here with the good news that I have, and yeah, I appreciate being on again.
Oh yeah, man. We'll lay it on us. What's been up? What's the good news? What's the word?
Um, I've life has been good. I moved into my house. I've seen some good movies. So yeah, life's been good, man.
Nice. So what's this news? Let's hear about it.
Oh, golf news. Oh, got it. All right.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, we can start with that. Um, no, it's been awesome, boys. It's been a tough spring here, as you guys can relate to, right?
yeah.
amen.
And it's been super stressful to kind of have these big tournaments coming up and not be able to go outside. And I think last weekend or this weekend, sorry, was the first time I've played a full round without having to put a sweatshirt on or something or a sweater.
Wow.
Nice. Nice.
And it's almost June, so that was kind of crazy. So, um, yeah, before any of the tournaments, I flew out by myself down to Florida, spent a weekend down there, and just played some golf down there, and I sucked. I mean, you would have
Dang.
thought I might have been lefty after that trip. That was tough. So I went down. My first tournament of the year was the USDGA. It's like the PGA tournament of the adaptive golf.
Yeah.
Super awesome event, a great course at PGA Village Ryder, and yeah, it was spectacular. I didn't play great, but it's a 3 day, and ended up coming in like 14th, I think. So that was tough. I kind of was easy on myself there though because, you know, like I said, the season in an early, it was May 4th to the 7th, so that's a really tough time for someone living in
Yeah.
upstate New York to
Yeah.
play down south against people who are playing year round.
Right.
So I didn't beat myself up there. That was, good preparation. Um, then came home, grinded, and then 2 or 3 weeks ago, I drove out to Indianapolis for the Indy Adaptive Open, and then I was staying there for the qualifier. And so I drove out by myself for the first event. Then I played that event, and then my dad flew in to Indy to join me for the practice round and the qualifier for the Adaptive Open, the U.S. Adaptive Open. So that was the main event. Everything I was doing before that, even the Indy Adaptive Open, was just to get ready for, um, you know, the big event. And the Indy Adaptive Open was awesome. I played really good the first day. I was in my first ever final pairing.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
Yeah.
but dude, listen to this, right? I get in a final pairing for the first time ever. I'm super pumped. Dude, I forgot it was a shotgun second day.
Oh.
Oh.
How brutal is that? You
That's
finally get in your
odd.
final pairing
You
Yeah.
and
yeah.
it's a shotgun second day. So the only benefit was that I went off of one instead of
Yeah.
like five or 17 or whatever. So that was cool. And everyone knew that we were like the final pairing or whatever. But I ended up dropping from third down to sixth, but it wasn't the best day. I tweaked my knee on the range right before. So that was a little tough. I was babying a little bit, and I told myself like this is not the event we want to push it, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
the next day was the qualifier practice round. So yeah, we rehabbed the knee and spent some time icing it and came out for the practice round. And dude, I forgot it was the same course as last year, Broadmoor, for the qualifier. So the practice round, dude, you know, I was like, this is so sick, dude. Like I can eat this up. I
Hell
was
yeah.
like, I'm playing from yardage, a yardage that I hadn't played from since last time I played there, because the qualifiers are always a little more friendly, yardage wise,
Nice.
because they want to give people a chance, right? So I play. I end up shooting like a 78, I think, in the practice round, and I'm like, well, that's not gonna do it, but that's it's fine, right? You're not really locked in or whatever, and so I wake up day of the qualifier, and dude, you know how just some days you can just feel it, like you
Yeah.
can
Dude.
sometimes you're like I'm on, or there's days where you're like I'm screwed, and you haven't
Mm-hmm.
even hit a ball yet,
Yeah.
right?
You drive into the course and there's just if you got that feeling like you're just like, oh, there's something special about the air. The way it's hitting the lungs, it's just gonna be a good day.
Dude, exactly how I was feeling, and I'm like, let's go. I think, dude, I'm a big range guy. Like I love to warm up, love to get the body going. I had an
Yep.
8:30 tee time, right?
Ugh.
So I'm like thinking, I got to have a lot of swings, blah blah blah. Dude, I think I always start with my 50-degree wedge, and I think I hit two 50s, maybe a few 8 irons, one or two 3 woods, and then I think same like one or two drivers. And I was like, I looked at my dad and I was like, it's fucking go time. Like I was like,
That's
I'm
awesome. That's
I'm
awesome.
ready, man. So we rolled some putts, and soon enough it was our time. Dude, first hole, I was starting on 10, which is what I started on last year. And it's a shorter par four. And I hit a great drive, right? The nerves, I hadn't felt nerves all season, because realistically I've really given myself a lot of slack, right? So, I didn't really feel these nerves until, the last time I felt these nerves was last season, right? And I'm on this tee box for the first time all year, and I'm shaking, right? And you learn how to like cope with that, right? I used to really struggle with the nerves, but I just took that and I just ran with it, and I hit this beautiful drive, super happy, just to have it out there and whatever. Boys, I stuck this wedge so sick. It was nasty. Tap in birdie, right? Tap in birdie. I was like 120 out, and tapped in birdie, and I'm like, let's go, dude. Right? So I get all this momentum. I bogey the next hole. I'm like, fuck. Like, oh shit. And it's amazing how quick it'll beat you down, right? Birdie the next hole. So I'm like, if I don't get a par today, I'm okay with that. Like
Yeah.
I just keep this trend going. So I end up parring out until um 17 and 18. I go birdie birdie, and then I go par 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 until 9. So
Oh shit.
not to get ahead of myself, but this round is like, so I make the turn at 3 under, right? And my goal is pars win, right? Just
Yeah.
par, par. None of my intention of this tournament at this point was to win. I just wanted to keep this score because I knew in my category it would get me in. So I'm like, I'm not even trying to think about my score. I'm playing smart golf. I'm laying up, and we made some great pars, man. Like it was really amazing how, something that maybe I would usually hit like a 3 or a 7 wood, like we were hitting like a 5 hybrid to lay up and just chip and putt and get a par rather than be
Yeah.
stupid and put yourself in a tough spot. And dude, just I went 8 consecutive pars, and then hole 9, I hit a great drive and I crushed a 3 wood on a par 5. It was like a reachable par 5 for me, and
Mhm.
I hit a branch that was leaking into the fairway, and it dropped into the sand. And I gotta tell you this fun story. We're driving up the fairway, and me and my dad like do really well together. Like he's my caddy, so like, like when it's family, it's easier to kind of lose your patience with him, right? But we do
Sure.
really
Yeah.
well, and we did really well. And I was so pissed because I was like, dude, like I hit that well, like I can't even be mad at myself, but whatever. It just hit this damn branch. And so he pulls up right next to it. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't know where your ball is. I go, I'm in the fucking sand right next to you. So, but he was so good all day. Like he was, he was awesome. Like he did so well. We're starting to learn kind of the distances and stuff a little better. But so I'm in the sand and I'm like, all right, like don't ruin this, right? Because my luck, I'm gonna be 3 under for this whole thing, and then I'm gonna like triple bogey the 9th hole and go even or something. So I pure a 8 iron out of it, and I chip and putt, and I miss the putt and I bogey on a par 5. So I'm like, that sucked because the putt was definitely makeable. It was probably 6 or 7 feet, and especially after the recovery. So I was bummed, but I'm like, dude, I just shot 2 under. Like, how could I be
Right.
mad at that, right?
Yeah.
And so I go to the scorers table, and I'm like, dude, I don't even like care what the other scores are. Like, I'm not. I'm like, the way I played, somebody else must have, really gone off, right? And I'm just happy because that gets me in, right? Because there's nobody like Chaz ended up the next day shooting 1 under. So, and he
Yeah.
played really good.
Hmm.
So, but I knew like 3 people weren't going to score better than 2 under. So
Yeah.
I was like pretty pumped. And at the scorers table, the guy's like, all right, great round, Ricky. Like, we're doing scorecards. He's like, I'm going to need you to stick around. And I'm like, okay. And so there was like 2 or 3 groups who hadn't finished yet, and the guy who I was tied with was already in, but we just had to make sure somebody else didn't come in with like a 3 under or whatever. So,
Yeah.
dude, everybody gets in a cart, follows us up the fairway for a playoff.
Damn.
It was so nerve wracking for this tee shot, and it was a par 5 18, and I had birdied
You had
18.
birdied it before, yeah.
Right.
Yep. So he hits his tee shot
I'm
first,
nervous
sprays it
for
a
you
little
right
right,
now.
and sprays his a little right. I hit mine straight. Then his next shot, he hits a tree and it comes down, but he's like still safe. And I, in front of all these people, pure a 3 wood onto the side of the green for an eagle putt.
Oh
Dude,
boy.
I felt so bad because everyone erupted when it got on the green. And like my poor opponent, dude, he could tell like I'm kind of the away team here, like
Sure.
Yeah.
everyone, and I was really lucky. I was really fortunate for that to be the case because it was all like my buddies and stuff. But dude, I was so amped up walking to that green. Like I'm like, dude, just and my opponent ends up getting it out, but he was short, so then he chips up. So he's putting 5 from like
Right.
a pretty long distance away, and I'm putting 3. And I'm like, dude, just nestle this up there.
100%.
Just let's get out of here. Dude, I blow this eagle putt past, like comically. Like I had all the nerves and all the excitement, and I hammered this. Like you would
You
have thought I
haven't, so
was,
you haven't told us this stuff, but in my head, I was like, "There's no chance that Ricky's not going to tell me that he nestled that out there. This thing fucking went past Indy 500. I know it did."
dude,
Yeah.
literally, like everyone was like, as soon as he chipped up and he was going to be putting for 5 from a distance, like all my buddies are like, play it smart, play it smart. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, I want to make this thing.
got
I
this.
guess I was thinking
Yeah.
that. And so I blow it past, right? I'm probably 15 to 20 feet when I should have been 3 to 5 feet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, wait, real
And
quick, Ricky. We got a video
oh
of
yeah,
it right here.
there it is.
Yeah, shout out to Jason Hasty for this tasty
Yep.
video.
A lengthy birdie putt, just the drain.
That thing could have gotten a fucking speeding ticket. Wait, back that up 5 seconds. Hold on. Let's fucking go. The twirl of the bucket hat, that's fucking excellent. That's excellent.
I hammered it again.
Yeah, you did.
I hit it harder this time.
Just caught the cup.
And it hit the cup, and like it did one of those like hit the cup, come up and down.
Yeah.
And dude, if that didn't hit the cup, he was back in it.
Yeah.
The guy's back in it. Although I would have been all right because I still could have like, probably 2-putted. And he was a long distance away. Like in the video, you can already see like his hat's off. Like he's ready to shake my hand. Like, he knew he was kind of screwed. But the fact that I birdied it and you can hear all the people in that video and stuff like in the background, dude. And the video doesn't show it, but like it shows my excitement. But right when it went in, I went deadpan, and they got a picture of me like just deadpan, and I was staring at Jason Hasty, and so it's funny you bring his name up, but dude, it was just so electric, and I just couldn't believe it for the longest time, and then we hopped in the car and after awards and everything, and hopped in the car and drove back home, and that was brutal, but that would have sucked had I not qualified. So same thing happened last year though, because remember we got pushed back a day, and
I missed my flights. Day for the
yeah.
So both drives back from Indy have been awesome.
That's awesome, man. Well, big congrats to you and your dad. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching today's episode.
To see more of our content, be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe on YouTube. We can be found at Basic Bogeys on all platforms.
Thanks. We hope to see you on the next one.